Oh, hello. We back. We back. We back. We back. Um, ooh. So, it's a beautiful Sunday morning in lovely Chippenham. It is in the peak of summer. We are in July and it's very hot. Yeah, it's in the morning because the temperature is expected to go a bit up in the afternoon and it will get worse than this. It's 24 degrees, but yeah, you can feel it, okay? You definitely feel it. But yeah, it's a beautiful Sunday morning and it's the perfect time to do this, I guess. So yeah, hop along for the journey. I'm just going on a walking trail, which is beautiful, but unfortunately it doesn't have a lot of shade. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to bear the grunt of the sun. But I'm not complaining because you know what? I'd rather complain about the heat than complain about the cold. So I am that girly, summer over winter. So yeah, we take what we take. But just look at this. I feel like there's something that the sun does that it brings you back to life, man. It rejuvenates you. You feel like you, I don't know, there's a spark, there's something. It does something to you. Unlike winter, always like gloomy and dark early, and you know, you don't get to fully appreciate and experience the fullness of nature. And yeah, just connect a bit because trust me, when it's cold, I don't even feel like going out. I'd rather stay inside. Why would I switch myself and go out? For what? No, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, so this is it. Welcome to another expedition. If you don't know me, I am Swazi. I am a South African, but I am based in the UK at the moment, and I've been here for 6 years. And I just want to go over a few reflections as I realize that it's halfway through the year 2025, and apparently I'm going to be turning 30 in January, and that was a big shocker to me. So I'm like, girl, time is gone. We are becoming adults, and what have we done? What have we done with our 20s? Are we happy with where we are? Like, yeah, there's a lot of questions. So, and I feel like I'm not the only one who feels like this, because 30 is this grand age that we all thought we'd have things figured out. We thought I would have a car, I would be married, I would have children, my career would be blooming, I would be this and that and that. But the reality of life is that things don't always go to how we always thought it would be in our heads. I'm hoping the wind doesn't make me not audible. It's quite windy now, there's a nice breeze, but yeah. So yeah, I just wanted us to talk about that and just maybe get a few realistic conversations and a one-on-one in the mirror reflection of what's happened from 20 to 30. And is 30 the big scary mighty number that we should be scared of, or it's something that we should embrace, you know? So yeah, these are just my thoughts and how I'm feeling at the moment, and looking back and thinking, yeah, time has flown by. And honestly speaking, when you turn 20, you look at 30 like it's a far abstract concept, but as soon as you are closer, like a few months closer to the goal, then you realize that actually, you know what, time has flown by and it is not as far as I thought it would be. So diving back into that, how were my 20s like? Am I happy? Wow, I think I spent the first part of my 20s, look at me, 30s, no, 30 still coming. I spent the first better part of my 20s still in school, because when I turned 20, I was doing my undergrad. I was doing final year of my undergrad, and immediately after that, on my 21st, I did my honors, and then after that, immediately I did masters. So for the better part of my early 20s, I was still in university and I was pursuing academia. And if you've gone down that path, you obviously appreciate, or if you've not, let me just quickly explain that whichever degree you do, it quickly consumes you, and sometimes it becomes some sort of like a personality thing, especially for people like me who are nerds and who like to do things to the best of their ability. So when I was still doing my undergrad, I gave it my all, like 110%. So I did not know anything else outside academia. Like, that was my personality, that was me, to the point when I turned 24, 25, I can't remember, because I did my honors obviously, and then I did my masters, and then work placement, if you may call it that. So I kind of didn't know when I was transitioning from like now the uni to work, what do I like, what do I enjoy outside of that, because it had consumed the better part of my early 20s up until like 25, to say the least. So I spent the last 4 years trying to now figure out, who is this person, what do you like, what do you enjoy outside of work, outside of school and learning. And by the way, I quickly realized that I've mastered the art of studying and doing a lot of other things, but when it comes to other things that you are enjoying and you are experiencing, like, what is it that you enjoy, what are your hobbies outside of studying, what are your hobbies outside of assignments. So it's an interesting thing to dive into, but I think some people also get lost in that, and we don't fully appreciate that, in as much as we are trying to chase a dream and you're trying to chase this and that, but you're also not going to get those years back, or you're not going to go back and be like, okay, because I've ticked this box and I've ticked that box, now you are going to get to relive those years. It doesn't come back. So it's good to get a balance between what it is that you're trying to chase and also just seizing the moment and enjoying life as it comes. And I think most of us get stuck in that trap, and we just become so narrow-minded that we don't realize that life is still going on. Life is still gonna continue regardless of what you choose to do with your time and how you choose to look at things. And I wish I had maybe paid a little bit more attention to that, because I think in the pursuit of what I wanted to do, which I achieved, which was great, but I think the early parts of my 20s were a bit of a blur, because I was just so focused on this goal. I was just so adamant that this is what I want, and I want to do my best, and I want to get it, and I did, and it's great. But now we're moving forward, and you're like, okay, fine, what have I done? Well, I got my degrees, I got that, I got the job, I'm working, but now as a person, personally, how have you grown? How have you adapted? I mean, I still feel like parts of me still, I use books to sort of shelter a better part of myself, or a better part of what I thought would be things that are not really important, like social stuff. I mean, I do have a lot of friends, but it wasn't something that I was really invested in. Don't get me wrong, I am very invested in my friendships. I love my friends, but it wasn't something that I was actively keen on, to be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna do this socially and this and this and that. The people that I'm friends with were people that I went to school with, people that I sort of had some proximity, not as me venturing out on these adventures to be like, oh, you know, I've met a couple of friends doing this, doing that. No, it was friends from uni, friends from high school, yeah, and that was pretty much it. And I feel like now I'm starting to sort of really struggle with making friends as an adult, where there's no other proximity, like where you go to work and come back. So now how do you then make friends? You know, it's hard, and adult friendships are also hard to navigate, and I think that's a topic on its own. But yeah, that's one aspect of it. And then you come to think about, okay, finances. As a student, you are sort of just living by, trying to make ends meet. Everyone's the same. No one's really concerned about money. We don't all come from backgrounds where we were taught savvy money saving skills or whatever. So as a student, you really just get what you get, you do what you need to do, buy what you need to get, live by But once you start working, then the dynamics change. You have a little bit of money, and all of a sudden the question starts coming in: what do I do with this money? How do I save better? How do I become money savvy? And then there's this pressure now to be like, okay, I'm working now. People need to know that I'm working. People need to see that I'm working. And it's like, okay, cool. You now fall into this other trap of people pleasing and feeding into societal expectations, because you've started working, you now need to get a car, you need to get a house, you need to get this, that. And I was lucky enough though, because in my 20s, with me being a curious person, I did read up a lot of things. I stumbled upon Rich Dad Poor Dad, a few financial tips. So when I did start working, there was a bit of consciousness on my end to be like, okay, don't get into a lot of debt. Try do this, try do that. But as you know, we are Africans and we come from a background where we need to support our families financially. And I think the term black tax then comes into play, and you start thinking, okay, I've got a little bit of money. How can I help my family? How can I help my siblings? And then we fall into that trap, and it's hard to come out once you start falling into it, because there's now these expectations that have been set, and people constantly coming back to be like, well, I need to do this, well, I need to do that. And then we start neglecting ourselves, and we fall into a bigger pit. But yeah, that's another aspect of it, which I feel like it's a shame for us not to be able to have these money conversations. But I'm grateful that there are now platforms and channels, and people are becoming more transparent about how they handle their money, how they handle their finances, and we are learning, and can sort of adopt whatever it is that we think is good or best for us going forward. Because trust me, in black families, it's hard to talk about money. Like, the subject of money is just something that's never spoken about, and how to manage your money. Because even when I started working, I remember I had to sort of figure out, okay, what do I do with my money? How do I spend my money? But it wasn't a question of like, okay, girl, you've got this little bit of money, maybe you can save it, maybe you can do this, maybe you can do that. It was never that. And to be honest, it's hard to speak to other people about something that you're also struggling with. So I sort of understand where our parents are coming from. But yeah, that's another big blocker. And what else? So the next point that I would like to push on is the fact that, okay, then all of a sudden, more responsibilities, more things come. You sort of forget the drive. Me in my early 20s, I was so driven. I was so determined to do things. I was so determined to push and do this. I wasn't afraid to try something new, to start again, to do that. Not to say now I'm afraid, but it's more of a case of, I feel like I've just lost the ambition. Not completely, but I can see it slowly being chipped away, because there's this expectation that, something better is going to come. Next year I need to work better, and maybe I might get a better paying wage, or I might do this, I might do that. And then it's the waiting on things to be like, okay, things are going to get better. And then now you're going to start exploring more. You're going to start doing this. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to explore this? Why do you want to waste money when in reality you don't have the money? You should be saving. What are you celebrating? What are you traveling for? Because you don't have the money. Like, it's just, there's so many things that you second guess as you get older. And I wish I still had the same drive as I had when I was still in my early 20s, which is something that I want to revive going into my 30s, just to bring that spark back, that spark of wanting to take more opportunities, taking more risks. Because I've come to realize, and I know this for sure, that Mother Nature rewards people that take chances. Like, the universe really has our backs, but we really need to be the first people to take the step, the leap, and say that, what, I want to do X, I want to do Y, and the universe will support you in whatever thing that you want to do, and in whatever thing that you think is good for you in that sense. And if you put in the effort, you're really gonna see the results. Yeah, that's one thing I wish. That's one thing I'm intentional of wanting to do, because as I said, I've got 6 months till I turn 30, and there's a few things that I want to dive deeper into or pursue, so that when 30 comes, to be honest, I'm not really worried about the big scary number. I'm excited about it. I want to embrace it, but I want to do the best. I want to get the best out of it. So I wanted to find me being the best possible person that I can be. When the year started, I was so intentional about my health and fitness, because for the longest of time I was just like, okay, fine, I'm underweight and doesn't matter, I eat what I eat, whatever. But I've started being more intentional about what I eat, how I eat, going to the gym more, exercising more, looking after my body, because the truth is we're not getting any younger, and if you don't look after yourself now, you are going to struggle later. So I don't want to be one of those people who struggles. So I've really put in the work with my fitness, and I'm just going to the gym to maintain, but my body's looking good, my mind is feeling clearer, and I'm on a better path. So with that, I just thought that maybe, you know what, let me share a few of my thoughts with my people. I'm sure maybe some people resonate, some people will not, but I just want to test myself, put myself to a different test to see, you know, have I still got it? Have I still got the zeal for life to try something new, put myself out of my comfort box, or the zone that I've sort of shoehorned myself into, thinking that I'm an adult, I'm doing life, but I feel like I haven't been taking life by the horns or appreciating the moment. I've just been postponing joy, but the truth of the matter is nothing in life is ever guaranteed, and if you don't realize it now, it's definitely going to show you later. It's definitely going to show you later that in life, the joy that you manufacture yourself will be the best thing that is ever to happen, because the grief and the sadness, it finds its way to you. One way or the other, it has a way of finding itself back to you. So I am imploring everyone, if you are turning 30 next year, or if you are closer, or whatever age actually, let's just start living more. Let's start being gracious for life a little bit more, and taking each day as a gift that it is, because truly speaking, tomorrow is never promised, and you don't know what may happen tomorrow that might change your life forever. It may be good, it may be bad, but whatever, today is a day that you've got, and we've got to really make it count. With that in mind, I just decided that, you know what, I've been in the UK for 6 years, and I've not really explored the country that much, so I want to start doing a little bit more of sightseeing and enjoying what this beautiful kingdom has to offer. So I want to see how many cities that I can explore within the time clock that I have, that is up to January. So try to do maybe a bit of 30 cities in 6 months before I turn 30. And that would be a big goal that I'm going to set for myself, and I want to see if I can sort of see through and be like an adventure man of some sort, something to look forward to, something fun to do, and we can also explore this together. And yeah, so I am also putting the challenge out there for you. If there's anything you want to do, also want to achieve in the second quarter of the year, let's put it down, let's hold each other accountable, and let's start something that when we look back in 6 months, we're going to say, oh wow, I'm glad I took the plunge, I'm glad I tried something new. If it worked, great. If it doesn't, then we've tried at least. And yeah, so yeah, that's all that I've had for you today, and I hope to see you guys on my next bit of nuggets or video. I love you, and as always, please subscribe if you haven't, and tell your friends to tell your friends that we are back, and we are going to try and do this life thing together. Cool. Bye.